I'd like to introduce Susan from Canada. Susan has multiple sclerosis. Welcome, Susan.
Welcome, thank you.
Could you tell us when you were diagnosed with multiple sclerosis?
I was officially diagnosed in 1987. They suspected it in 1978, but back then with spinal taps and that they couldn't quite say for sure, but they said they suspected that's what it was, but they couldn't come up with anything for sure. So they just
Right.
said, go ahead and do your thing.
Well, I think sometimes ignorance can be bliss, can't it?
Yes,
It's
yes,
not impacting on your life.
yes.
What was your life like before diagnosis?
Um, I really didn't think about it at all, even though they had warned me that it's a possibility. Being young and naive about it all,
How
I
old were
wasn't.
you?
I was 21
Right.
when they first suspected. So I really didn't take it seriously at all.
Hmm.
I just thought there's no way, and I didn't even investigate to find out what exactly MS was. I had no idea what MS was, how it would affect my life or anything, and I just didn't.
Hmm.
So that was my, I guess, stupidity, not knowing what I was really getting into. But anyways, I went on. My life was fine. My pregnancies, I had two marvelous pregnancies, and I always said that if I could stay pregnant because I felt so wonderful, as long as I didn't have to have the babies, just have the sensations of being pregnant, I would love it because it was the healthiest for me. I had a lot of weird things, health things go on with me throughout the years, not associating it with the possibility of it being something to do with MS, but apparently things that I have read since then, they all did mean something, and I should have been taking it, and understanding it, but I didn't. So yeah, so
With, with
everything went well.
with hindsight, it's like all pieces of a jigsaw puzzle, isn't it? Once you
Exactly.
put them together, the same happened with me. I had MS for 12 years before I was diagnosed, and every incident I thought was a standalone incident.
Right.
It
Yes.
wasn't until you look back and yes, that was a relapse, and
That
piece it,
exactly.
yeah, piece it together.
Mhm.
So along your journey, how did you find LDN?
I was going to a neurologist, a very well-known neurologist here in Canada. He said he had put me on Copaxone. I'd done the 2 years of Copaxone, and he said that's not working for you. Um, there's another one, beta seron. So I went on the beta seron. I was on that for almost 2 years. That did nothing. Excuse me. My MS continued to progress at a speed that he said, okay, this is obviously not doing something. So he said, there is something else coming out. It's a chemo drug. Would you be interested in trying it? We've had some good results. I was a little nervous about it, but again, I thought, okay, I pioneer through it and I will try it.
Yes.
So I did. I went almost the complete 2 years, and I just had enough. I couldn't take it anymore. It was very, very hard on me. The nauseousness, the um, just everything about it. It was not good. Being poked with needles and them never being able to find a vein and
Oh.
whatever.
Hmm.
So I just decided to come off of it. And he then told me that with my type, at that time it was SPMS, so I was secondary progressive. There was not a lot of medication out there for secondary progressive. They were aiming more for people who were newly diagnosed, not for people who had had it for so many years. So he said, you are basically left on your own. You can investigate the internet and just go from there, which is what I did. And I recalled Montel Williams having MS, and he had set up a site, and I believe it was either Good Shape or Spotlight Health. I can't remember. Anyways, it was one of those, and I went to that. And there was a gentleman on there, Lawrence, and I cannot recall his last name, but he is very big in the LDN world. He set up a whole big page and grouping and everything, and that's where I learned about it.
And how did you manage to get a prescription?
I went. online because on the LDN site they had a few suggestions, and I think it was Skip Pharmacy was one, but I think he's in Florida.
Yes.
So I was investigating more, like trying to get somebody Canada compound pharmacy. So that's when I just narrowed down, and I did find one that was within distance of delivering it to me. I went to the neurologist. He refused. He said, no, I'm not interested in giving you anything for that. So I went to my regular GP, and he was quite interested in it. He felt if I had done my research, and he felt quite comfortable giving it to me. So he gave me the script, and that was it. I got it, and I've been on it ever since.
And how long have you been on it?
I think it's coming up to 8 or 9 years. 8 years, I guess, yeah.
Oh.
8 years.
Yeah. So before you started LDN, what were your symptoms?
What am I going to do? I was really, really nervous because the whole time that I wasn't on anything between the chemo drug and finding LDN, my progression was moving pretty quick. We had moved into a bungalow so that I could have the main floor, but I had progressed from occasionally using a wheelchair to now I could not move around the house with my walker. I was now in my wheelchair. And that happened in a very short period of time, less than a year. So I was, getting very anxious about it. So when I did find the LDN, and I had heard so many people having such great positive things happening to them, I was basically looking for a little more than it gave me because I had heard so many or read so many stories about people who had gone from actual canes to not having to use canes, or their sight had improved and different things. So I was expecting a lot from it. Just being, I guess, in the mindset that I was, that I'm, oh my God, there's no return for me. And then reading that maybe I did have a chance of something helping me that much. So it was a little disappointing when I got started it, and it didn't take me back or give me back what I had thought I might get.
Yes.
But after a few months, when I realized my my situation hadn't changed, my health situation hadn't changed, I was ecstatic about that I had not gotten any worse.
And did you notice any side effects when you first started?
None that I can think of at all.
So you're saying that LDN has helped halt your progression, but did it help with any of your symptoms or with none at all?
It helped a little bit with sleeping, and I had some spasms, leg spasms. They have since returned or, gotten a little worse. But that's taken 8 years to happen, which I'm sure that had I not been on it, this would have been, I don't even want to think of where I would be if I hadn't been on it. I don't even want to think about it.
Yes.
No, I'm quite happy with what I've gotten from it. I would certainly